I saw this tweet a few days ago on X and I bookmarked it to try it out later. You can see this image grid here. I assume it's like a scrollable container which all the images pass through. And this person is asking anyone knows how to build something like this using React. Well, you don't have to use React. You can use simple CSS because that's what I use to achieve something like this here. You can see the image grid, and as you scroll, we have something like this. And I'm going to show you how I achieve this in this video. This is what we'll be starting with. So for my header, I have the logo and the links here. And then when we go to the main, I have this tagline, which is this part here. Then I have this div image grid wrapper. And then I have the image grid. And for my CSS in the image grid, I have display of flex, gap of 20 pixels, and overflow X of scroll. And on the wrapper, I have overflow Y of hidden. By the way, the code for all of this will be shared in the video description so you can check it out. So what I have currently now is this. You can scroll from left to right. So how do we do that curve at the top and the bottom? Well, this is what we're going to use before and after pseudo elements. There are probably several other ways to achieve this, like maybe masking and stuff like that. But we're going to go a very simple route. So on my image grid wrapper, I'm going to have the before pseudo element, and I'm also going to do the same thing for the after pseudo element. But let's start with this. I have my empty contents. Let's just give this a background color of red, a height of, let's just say 100 pixels, and a width of 100%, then a position of absolutes, and then we have the grid wrapper with relative, so that this absolute element is bounded by the relative wrapper, and I can just do a top of 0. So if I refresh, we have something like this. Then I can do a border radius 50%, which will give me the highest radius I can get for this shape. Now for this top, I can do minus 50 pixels so that it moves top, so it goes to the top, and then we have something like this. And now I can get the background color that I use for the body, and I can apply that background color. Instead of red to the pseudo element, I'll apply that background color, and when I refresh, you see we already have something like this. And we can do the same thing for the after. So I'm just going to add the after selector here, but I'm going to change a few things. For the before, I'll bring this top of minus 50 pixels here. And then for the after, I'm just going to change this to bottom minus 50 pixels. Let's put the background color of red on the after so that you can see it. So if I refresh, you can see the after is below. By the time I take this off so that this background color applies to both of them, I now have something like this. And now when I scroll, let me put the background red so that you see what is happening. So with the background red, this is what is happening. All the images are coming under the before and after pseudo element, but you don't really see that effect now until I put the background color here, and now you have this effect. But what you notice from this image is that the edges are not really sharp, they are much more smooth. But in our case, this edge is really sharp. We can actually improve that. Let me put the background color of red again. Now instead of using a width of 100%, I'm going to use inset of 0. Inset in CSS is just like top 0, bottom 0, right 0, left 0. So this is going to mess up what we have now, but we're going to fix that. So with inset, just the way you have your margin top, right, bottom, left, inset is also top, right, bottom, left. So I'm going to bring this here to the before, and then for my top, I'll have minus 50 pixels. I'll put 0 for the right and 0 for the bottom. So this is top, left, right, and bottom like you have in margin. If I should put another value here, then this is going to be top, right, bottom, left. But if it's just 3, this is going to be top, left, and right, then bottom. And then for the after, I can change this to inset, and then I have 0, 0, and minus 50 pixels. Now this is not going to work because when you have a top and you have a bottom, the top takes priority. So I'm going to come here to unset the top property. So now the bottom can be minus 50 pixels. And we have this again. But what happens when I put X and Y to a bigger value? So if I put X and Y to, let's say, minus 50 pixels, and I come here again and have minus 50 pixels, now X and Y are going to be bigger. Now what I also like to do is using custom properties to make things easier. On the wrapper, I can have the X offset as minus 50 pixels. I can also have the Y offset as minus 50 pixels. I can come here and then replace this with Y offset, and replace this part here with X offset. I can replace this to here with X offset and replace this for the bottom with Y offsets. We have the same thing. And now if I want to change any of the offset, I can come here to change the X to 100. It becomes smoother. If I take it back to 0, we have those sharp edges again. That could probably be what you want. So I can keep this at 100. I can also increase the Y offset to -20. And now we have something like this, although you can see that edge by that side. So it's something you also want to be conscious of. So let's take this to maybe 60. And yeah, we have something like this. And now I've been able to build something similar. Well, I hope this video taught you something. There are definitely many other ways you can achieve something like this, but we didn't even use any complicated property and we're able to achieve the same thing. Please give this video a like and subscribe for more CSS tutorials like this.